Out of 10 subjects, you have okay. One was Yoruba was A1.
A1, yeah. English was
D7.
then
And others
F9.
F9.
Yeah.
So only Yoruba you had A1.
Yes, and my brothers and my sister told me that I should go and read
Yes.
Yoruba engineering.
Hello, and a warm welcome to you on another episode of Meet High Flyers. This is a platform where we celebrate personalities who have gone through the storms of life but came out successfully without compromise. My name is Adeyinka. Our guest today will be sharing with us her journey through life, an emotional imbalance, family, educational challenges, battling with low self-esteem, and having to make a tough decision for marriage. She will talk about how she had to go through this and made her milestones. We'll be right back. Our guest today is a graduate of industrial chemistry and also has a master's degree in organic chemistry. She's happily married to Mr. Olalere, the CEO of King Clash Photography, and they are blessed with 3 beautiful children. So let's sit back and hear a wonderful, inspiring story. Yes, Ma. So how was your growing up like?
Well, my growing up was both interesting and challenging. Interesting in the sense that I grew up in a family of 6 children, and mom and dad. So that's 6 children, our parents. Then I have 4 boys, 4 brothers, interesting brothers, and I have 1 sister. That's the first daughter. She's way older than all of us. But I grew up in the midst of the bunch. My siblings, we love ourselves, but there was the challenge. There was that there was no love between the parents.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the challenging aspect. But for us, the children,
what do you mean by there was no love between the parents?
Mom and dad, they never loved. I don't know if they never loved them. Dad never showed mom love as such. So mom was always crying. I grew up seeing her every night. I was living in her room. So she was always crying in the night. She cries throughout the night. To the point that one day my sister asked her that, what are you doing in this marriage if you're not happy? That why didn't you just move on? Let know that she has children. That for the sake of the children, she was going to stay back.
Wow.
And she stayed back. She did all the things. I knew what the challenges were. She was one taking care of the family, taking care of the whole, paying bills and all that, ensuring that our school fees were paid, struggling. And she was a teacher while my dad was an editor. We were both civil servants. So it was really challenging for us in that aspect of having our welfare, finances met. But for us children, we were fine. We play a lot, we relate, we run around, growing up in Ibadan. You have friends around. Even when you have not eaten, you can hungrily go out and play with other children or go to their house, then your parents can give you something. In those days, families were free to themselves.
Yeah.
You can go to your neighbor's house and they'll be eating and they will give you food to eat.
Yes.
And you won't mind. You will take it and everybody will be fine.
You seen your mom cry every night. Did it have any negative effect on you as a child?
Yes. Growing up, at a point, I started thinking that was marriage worth it. Because I was always saying to myself that I never want to see myself crying. That this one is always crying. I had to grow up to be bold. I grew up, I gave my life to Christ. That was a turning around for me. And I knew because I never believed in love. I never knew there was anything called love. I don't even know it. I don't hear it. So I didn't believe it until when I gave my life to Christ in 2011. In 2011, when I gave my life to Christ, and the word I had that made me give my life to Christ was Jesus loves you. It was like I've never heard it before. And I'm strange.
It's
It sounded strange.
strange. Because imagine how can someone from young till university not heard the word love?
Love. It doesn't, when my father is coming in, everybody, you feel.
So aside this lack of love of the house, educationally was there any challenge as well?
Oh, yes. I was an average student. I was not. And I'm very sure that this started from, it's as a result of my growing up. Because I knew, my mom told me that I started reading at the age of 4. So I had the tendency of being a bright student.
Yeah.
When I did my first WAEC, it was terrible. I had F9. I did 8 or 10 subjects. I had F9 in 8 subjects. I had D6. I had D7 in English language. And I had A1 in Yoruba language.
Please let me take that again. Out of 10 subjects,
Yeah.
you have okay. One was Yoruba was A1.
A1, yeah. English was
English was D7.
then
And others
F9.
F9.
Yeah.
So only Yoruba you had A1.
Yes, and my brothers and my sister told me that I should go and read Yoruba engineering. That is like,
Goodness.
I am a Yoruba person. I just don't look for a job.
But what, in your GSSC, how
I passed. I had my GSSC. I realized that, well, maybe I was distracted in senior class. My GSSC, I could remember the way I was reading then, because I knew I was an average student. So I gave my time I started using it to study. I started studying and I started praying that God help me. Let me pass this exam. Everybody is going to school. I want to go to school. At that time, my friends were already in 300 level, 400 level. And I was just trying. Though I finished early. I finished at 15. So at that time, I was still like 19 years. So it was looking like I was young. So I started praying and studying. I studied very hard. So I made up my mind that, God, if you help me, I will do all my best to make sure that this glory goes back to you. So when I got to my exam center in 2020, in Shagam there, they started bringing Expo. That was the first time I was seeing Expo. I didn't even know there was anything, because when we did our WAEC then, I didn't even know there was anything like that. But they started bringing in chiefs, giving papers. Some people would come into the hall and call answers. I was like, what is this? So I closed my ears. I would just sit down and be doing my work. I did it like that. And I just left it to God. After a while, the result came out and I had to go and check the result. I got to the exam center to check like this. And I saw the teacher saying, that is I obtained late form. So I had the last registration number, 300. I was the last person to obtain form. So when I came, they said, number 300 is coming. The best result. They started hailing and started shouting that this small girl, because I had a very small stature, that she had the best result. My sister was amazed. I was so surprised. Everybody was saying, congratulations.
Wow.
And that was it. And I was so excited that God can do this to me. And I was happy. I was proud of the fact that I didn't take any expo.
Yeah.
That all the people that they came to give, because the teachers that were welcoming me and congratulating me were the ones giving people answers, that I was not answering them.
Can you imagine?
In fact, at a point, they told me that this girl, you're always doing your own thing yourself. When I was writing an exam then, I said, I will do what I know. I don't know what you are giving me. So what I know, I will face and I will do. And I came out the best in that center. It was like, no, this is testimony. Everybody was happy with my courage, with my consistency, that I was deliberate.
Total failure to
the
community of the whole center.
So it was like that. I was happy. You know, I was number 300. So there were 300 students in that place and I came out the best.
Okay, so now to the very interesting, your own love story. Wow. How did you meet your husband, Mr. Olalere?
Thank you.
The CEO of King Fast Photography.
So by 2011, it was going to be my 30th birthday. I just had this prompting that I should go back to Ibadan with my parents and just celebrate with them. I'll be perfect. It was a landmark birthday that I should go home and just celebrate with my family. Those are the ones I have. I don't have anybody. So I went home that day. I went home. It was on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday, I guess. So on a Saturday, I went home. On Sunday morning, I cooked yam and egg. I made sure I bought it with my money.
Aww,
I prepared it that it's my birthday. They should pray for me. And I prepared for them. My dad was happy. My mom was happy. And the following morning, while I was stepping out of the house, my mom said to me, go and meet your husband. So I stepped out. But that prayer, if not that I met my husband that day, I wouldn't have remembered that prayer.
Yeah.
So I stepped out of the house. That was the following day after my 30th birthday. And I moved. I said, okay, let me go on. I'm 30 years. I don't have any boyfriend. I don't have relationship. Then let me go and continue with my PhD. So I got to UI to continue my PhD. I obtained the form. I paid. Then after paying and filling, I had to give my lecturers to do some things. I went to meet them. They said, no problem. But there was this pro. There was one of them, a man, that called me and said, Bola, you want to start your PhD? I said, yes, sir. I said, I'm very happy for you. Are you married? I said, no. Are you in a relationship? I said, no. I said, can you marry? Just no. Or can you find someone to marry? And then you can come and start. I said, okay, sir. But I don't have anybody. He said, okay, fine, that's fine. Don't worry, God will do it. I don't want to be stranded. I don't want to face academics and forget your own life. So that was how I just said thank you and I left that day. I told him I was working in Lagos at that time. So I left on my way home. It was already drizzling. It was around 5:05 in the evening. And in my house from childhood, you don't come home late. Once it's 7 p.m., everybody must be in the house. Everybody. Don't go home late. So that day, it was 5:30. It was drizzling. I know Mokola to my house is far. Apata, I was living in Apata. And if I branch, and my spirit was telling me, see your friend. You have not seen your friend in a year. Just branch and see him. He's on your way home at Mokola. Just come down, say hello. So I was battling with that thought in the bus. But when I got to the front of their house, of their store, it was a shop. I came down and I said, okay, let me just say hello to her. So as I entered the store, the wine store, I saw this guy sitting down, calmly wearing suit. And I saw my friend, gisting. I was like, Bola, long time. We're just talking, gisting and all that. And they said, I see our friend, oh. Hi, hello. I just said, the friend, is my husband now. So I just said, hello, hi. And me and my friend were gisting. I told them, I can't stay out late. That I need to go on time. That my mom will be waiting for me. They said, wow, mommy's girl. That all this why we have not met, have not seen. It was really nice. So as I stepped out of their store, and I told one of my friends, the two of them followed me. Okay, I told one of them that, see you, that guy I saw sitting down in your shop there, that guy has glory all around him. I hope, is he your boyfriend? He said, no, that they are just friends. I said, if he asks you out, don't hesitate to say no. In fact, before the words come out of his mouth, tell him yes. That boy, what I'm seeing around him is massive. That boy has a lot of things. As in, he said, I know that they're just friends. They've known for long. They've been friends since long time. That he's not like that. No. I said, okay, no problem. So I went home that day. In the evening, around 8 p.m., my phone rang. I just picked the call and I heard one voice, one indigenous Yoruba voice that said, that is Remy. He saw me at the shop today. So now, when I heard the voice, all the glory that I saw shattered. Everything came down. Jesus! What? I said, okay.
So you talk about the glory that you saw.
I just said, okay, thank you. Now he's on his way back to Suleja. He was just speaking the English and the Yoruba and the Pidgin and everything together and was mixing up the language. And I was like, God, this is... So that night he went. The following morning, I think he entered night bus back to Suleja that night. When he got to Suleja around 10, he started calling me. And then I was washing clothes outside. My mom too was there. I was washing my clothes. My phone was there. My phone was ringing. I saw the number that it was last night number. I said, go for it. It's not me and you that will pick this call. And so I didn't pick the call the first time. The phone kept ringing. Second time, third time, my mom now said, Bola, Mommy, if you hear this person's intonation voice, even you yourself, you don't even want me to talk to him. Nibo. No. My mom said, is it in the voice or in God? And that was what made me pick the call. That is it in the voice or in God? And my mom had never, I don't say anything that I said anybody yesterday or something. My mom just said that thing, and I now picked the call.
Is it in the voice or in God?
My mom, I now picked the call, so we told it was still the same voice. But now
Intonation.
it was the same intonation, but I calmed down. I calmed down to listen to him. He said, the moment I saw you, I know you're my wife. Hey! I said, Jesus. When my husband started talking to me at that point, I saw God in him. Anything he was saying, he would say, by the grace of God, he has done this, he has done that, he has done that. I started asking him, okay, are you a graduate? Because I know in my house, school is very important. Education is important.
Yeah, you are a teacher, of course.
My dad, both of them are well read. So you have to be educated. And whoever you want to marry must be educated. I asked about his schooling, and he told me that he only had hey, that one.
Not even HN.
That one. And I was going for my PhD.
My God. So a PhD and HND.
HND.
Sorry.
OND.
PhD and OND.
Then I started listening to him. We had conversation, and I realized that I started flowing with him. And I was forgetting about the information. And I was saying God in our discussion. So as time goes on, we started talking. By 1 month, we couldn't stop talking. We kept talking. So we now started praying as we were talking.
So now from the PhD to the ON, how are you able to convince your educational parent?
Okay, this is what happened. I thank God that at least he went to school. So when I had to talk to them about him, I told my parents that this guy wants to marry. And now, the question is, did he go to school? I said yes. And the only question they asked, which school? I said Federal Polytechnic, Bida. And that was the only thing. They did not ask the level. They did not ask. So that was the saving grace then. And I was like, God, you're at work. So, my husband now had to come, like after 3 months, when I said I was going to marry him. Okay. He invited me over first. And for the first time, my mom allowed me to leave the house. That never happened. To leave that far, to Suleja from
God breaks protocol and it's time breaks protocol.
From Ibadan to Suleja, it was, I've never been to Suleja. Though I said in Zamfara State. I just passed through Abuja. I've never been to Suleja before. And, I think I passed Suleja when we were going to Kaduna. Yes. So that was the only time. I went to Suleja, and then I think 3 days later, we now came back to Ibadan together. And when my mom saw, as my husband, when I saw my husband the first time, after, 3 months into the relationship, we said we wanted to marry. So I had to go see him. I went there. When I got there, he picked me and we got to his house. When we got to his house, he was living inside one room where gutter was passing through their room. Inside, what they call the place. It was one small room. You will see the gutter like this. It's under their... So when we got to the entrance of his room, he dropped my box. And before I entered, he asked me, do you want to marry me? This is where I live. I said, if it is you, I won't marry you. But I saw God in you. And that is why I am married. And he said, fine. After that, we came back to Ibadan together. I think the 3rd day, we came back together. And as he just entered my house, my mom we were calling my mom on the way. We're close. So by the time we got home, she was in the kitchen making amala. She just started. I just entered. My husband, as if he had been in my house before, entered the kitchen. Where is mommy? Just entered the kitchen. Saw my mom making amala, collected the amorogo and started turning the amala himself. He made the amala. My mom was like, which kind of thing you do that? He did it. After doing that, my mom served the food. We're eating. He was very open to my parents. He was friendly. talking. You know, if you have met my husband now, you see the way he relates. He related well with them. So both of my parents were amazed that no, this is lively, it's nice. And they talked to us. You guys want to marry. So that time I had to go and meet my reverend because it was 3 months. And I told my reverend, sir, this boy said he wants to marry me. My reverend asked us more questions and we said yes. I said I like him. I want to marry him. And I said, okay, we should be. So my reverend was from Ogbomoso. He's late now. Was from Ogbomoso. He went to Ogbomoso. He sent people to his house because he had some questions about him. So he sent people to his house, made his findings, and then after like 2 weeks, he now called me and my mom. I had gone to the boy's house. The boy is real. He's from Tuso family. He's been away since he was young. He said he's been away. My husband has been in Bangladesh for a very long time. But the family testified to the fact that he's their son. And we are good to go. So they asked me again, have you prayed? I said, I've prayed. They prayed for us. And in 6 months, that was January. The following year, we met July. Our parents met. So in October, then the mom now came to visit my parents. So that was a big introduction. I've already done introduction before. So my mom said, doesn't want any introduction again. The big one, I did one big party for that other guy. So she was just the mother and who else that came. So he had one mother in Sileja then. That one came to see my first time in Lagos. Our own mother came to see my parents. It was just the mother that came on. That she was the mother of Remy and that. And that was how we started the preparation for wedding. My husband told me, he said, see, I don't have money for it. Let us wait. I said, you see me? I wait no more. This wedding, we wait.
Just like that.
I said, we're going to marry, don't worry. And I told
So how did you how were you able to face your friends? I know that your friends are well read.
I told them, I was working in Lagos at that time. When I went back to them, I told them that I met a photographer to marry. He said, photographer. I said, yeah. Nobody saw it as a big deal. As somebody that would be. If I had someone close to me, like a mentor, that told me that there are lecturers that wanted to marry me, I opted for a small photographer that had nothing. But I knew there was something more I saw in him. The hours we spent praying together was something that helped me. We can be online throughout the night. We spend a lot of time praying together. Because of that, our talk. My husband got me this CUG phone. Like, you recharge only 500 naira a month, and then you talk for free for the whole month. So that was what we're using to communicate. So I was calling him back to back. I knew his steps, I knew his moves, he knew my own. We were praying. I was praying with him. When he would pray for me, with all this in Yoruba, in prayers. It was really, really something for me that I know. And again, the fact that I was a Baptist, I've always loved Baptist. Oh, because growing up, I used to say I was a Methodist. Methodists were moral people. They taught us to be modest. They taught us to be good girls. We're taught like that to be. But then we knew Bible, but not as much. But I used to hear when I was in school that Baptist, too, if you want to know Bible, go to Baptist. So I knew that his background was a Baptist and all that. I fell in love with him. That this one will know Bible and all that. So a few months, I started planning. Ladies now, I had gotten where I'll get mine. I didn't buy wedding dress. My auntie, one of my aunties had a friend that was renting out. I rented it. I started planning for the actual cake. My mom were making plans for us and all that. But thank God for my family. My family was very cooperative. They didn't stress him. They didn't ask for too much. What he was able to afford was what he accepted. If he says this, don't worry, you're fine. And he catered, the younger sister too catered for some people. So it was really nice. It wasn't that we started big, and that was how we started. So, it was using one Rover car, Rover, that's what you call it. One rickety car like that. And that was the car that we took back from Ibadan to Suleja on Tuesday after our wedding. It was just the two of us. We drove with our small gift in the car. And we're wearing ashwebi. We made both of us wore the same material. And then when we meet police on the way, it was fun. They'll ask us, you couple, you well done, congratulations. We had meat, we'll give them meat. Some of them, we give them some of our money. And like that till we got to Suleja, it was fun. So when we were growing, I saw that I was, I knew he loved me and I loved him. So I saw the love that Lord, I knew I didn't make a mistake in marrying this guy. I know I didn't make a mistake. So that conviction that this is God's will for you kept me.
And now you can say you've gone through this marriage for how many years now?
Yes, we were 12 years last February.
Wow, congratulations. For many more years in love and in many more celebrations.
Amen.
Okay, Ma. So with all these experiences, how would you see it as how would you become a better person?
Thank you. So in marriage and in life, I have I've learned to grow. Growing in the sense that I realized in marriage that number one, marry the person you love. Number two, learn to be submissive as a woman. With all I told you I was doing my PhD and my husband was just having ND. And the ND, my husband will even tell you that it's a past.
As a
past. But I learned to love him for who he is. And I was determined to be submissive from day one. My husband knows. My husband says, sit. I'm not a fool. He will not just tell me to sit, but if he says sit, I'll sit. If he comes and says, let's do this thing, it's not that I don't reason. Sometimes I reason. Sometimes we talk. And thank God he listens. We talk together, but I listen to him. I submit to him. I respect him. And I know that's a very big way to win your husband's heart as a young woman, even as an elderly person. I respect my husband a lot. And he's my best friend. We play alone. I can feel his yes. I can feel his nose. Even with the fact that he doesn't live with me. If we start now on WhatsApp, now you don't know that it's so. We have finished all the speakers in the world and using ourselves. So we relate like it's me and you. No going back. I love him with everything in me. So I've submitted to him and I've learned to be patient. Initially in marriage, it wasn't funny. We had our shares, we had our issues. But then I used to be very hot. I respond to issues, like I react to issues. When things are coming like this, as it's coming, I'm giving it back. And then everything like will not talk for 1 week.
Wow.
For me, I cannot do that. Me, I can do 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm not used to not talking for 1 week. My mouth is stuck. So my husband is the kind of person that can keep to himself for like a week. We'll be in the house, we'll be eating, we'll be fine, we'll be going out. He's the guy. We'll go out, and me, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't have a friend. I'll be there. So when I see that 2-3 days, I will go back and kneel down and what is it? I beg, stop this one. I cannot continue. I will say sorry. Even if I'm not at fault, I will say sorry. It will happen again. Then we'll come back. So at that time, I wasn't patient enough. But now, after 12 years, I've learned patience. Because I've grown spiritually, I pray more, but I've learned to be more patient. I've learned not to react to issues. And I've learned to assure him more of my love. And no matter what, you are still my husband. Because a lot is going on out there. I can't even risk it. I can't risk it. So I have learned to love him more. I've learned to be more patient and to be more submissive. So, and now as we are growing, we are understanding ourselves better. Now he knows that he has to allow me to do things. In fact, now he's the one asking me, these and these I want to do. When are you going to start? When are you going to do it? Of course, I know you can afford it. But initially, when we newly married, every young lady wants to travel abroad. I wanted to go to America. Let's go to UK. I'll be forced. Let's go abroad. Let's do this. I told my pastor one day that if he has $1 billion that day, that will not take me to the airport, stop or fly me out of the country. That will go and open a studio or buy a camera. That was his mindset. He wanted to invest whatever I had. But when the time came, I didn't even expect it. He just told me, let's go to US. We obtained this. We applied for visa. We went for the interview. In fact, they just gave us like they've been expecting us to come and be going.
Wow.
And that was it. And when we got to US, my husband told me, when we nearly married, we were trying to travel. Now, have you traveled or not? Where you want to go, you will go. But there is time for everything. So we encourage young ladies, don't copy what is happening out there. There is time for everything. Love your husband. Hold hands together. One will chase 1,000. So we put 10,000 on flight. Right. 10,000. So you can see the exponential growth for both of you. So it's important that couples are united, have the same mindset, be on the same page. Most of the time, a woman makes it work, although it takes two to tango. But a woman will be intentional that this marriage will work. To show them.
Thank you very much, Ma. So just lastly, what do you advise young girls who has struggling through education or low self-esteem or coming from a domestic unbalanced family, maybe not violence, just like your mom's case? What would you advise a young girl now?
Number one, I would like to advise them, believe in yourself. See, I told you I was a mediocre, I had low self-esteem. I always look at everybody better than myself. In fact, it affected the way I walk. Yes, it affected if you see me growing up, because I was always like, though I talk when it's time to, but when I see people, especially when I go to communities where I believe this area they are well to do like that, I always look at it like, we don't have anything. Let me not come and talk in this place. But when I started seeing the fact that God has good plans for me, and I can be all that He wants me to be, I started raising my shoulder. I started looking up. I said, before I can't talk to you, look at you, because I look like I am inferior to you. In fact, then growing up, we're not speaking English. So when I had cousins then that come around and they're speaking English, where am I sitting to be liking that? So they're speaking English. They cannot even speak English. So believe in yourself. Growing up, as much as you have to hold on to God, because this thing boils down to the fact that my relationship with God grew. So it helped me to overcome a lot of challenges, personally within myself. I was able to fight so many battles because I didn't even know that I could be anything. The education background I had, go to school, go to master's, I was doing it to cover up my mediocre, just let me go to school
and be
something. Because I was not believing I could amount to anything. I didn't believe that I could do it. So that's why I said, I'll finish my task. I don't have a husband, no relationship. Let me go and do PhD. I was doing all those things because I wanted to cover up for my Let me just have this, let me just have that. But when I came in close contact to God, I realized Jesus has done everything for me. I need to walk in that authority. I need to know who I am. And I love to listen to podcasts. I love to read books. I love to listen to people. When I see someone I value a lot, that week I can be listening to that person. It's a lady. I can be listening and be watching the kind of person, how this person growing, how she's living. So I want to encourage them, focus on who you want to be. You have to see where you're going for you to enter into that place. That's why God even told Abraham, as far as you can see. So if you cannot see, the devil will always cloud us, make us feel like we are less important. That see, your mother suffered. In fact, in my first few years in marriage too, my husband, because I always relate to it that, maybe I will even go back. Maybe I will even go back to my husband told me one day that the problem your mother went through, you think you will go through it. You have to take it off your mind that you will not go through it. Except you believe that you won't go through it, you will not. But if you're expecting it, it will come. So you have to know what you're expecting. What do you want to see? And we say that life you want to live. See, that's why I started seeing myself. So many times I started seeing myself in Paris. I've never been there. But I've been there once when we're traveling, but we didn't come out. So we're just at the airport. But I started seeing myself in good places. I started seeing my family, beautiful family. I imagined this. I started imagining it. Then I started praying. If you see what I will, whatever I want to do, I want it to look like I am not in this country. I want to look like I'm not ordinary. I'm world class. I'm not just a local champion. So I started thinking that way. And it was helping me to come out. So every woman should see themselves as the best version of who God has made them to.
And not allow your environment to take you who you are or who you can be.
So your environment should not. It should not dictate to you. And keep praying. I pray. If it's one thing I know I used to do, I prayed. I know I prayed as a young girl. I prayed. I will not stop saying that it's important for every young lady to know how to have because we bet a lot of things in the place of prayer. You bet confidence, you bet your future, you bet your marriage, you bet your children. Time will fail us to talk about even having children. Because I know on my part, it was like, somebody once said it to us that I won't out because I was not pregnant before marriage. And on my husband's part too, there was an issue that he thought he wouldn't even have children. So when we had our first issue, so a question came that is this your child? Are you sure this is your daughter? When I had my first daughter. And he said, yes. And the second child, God shocked everybody. It was the copy of him. So everybody just said, there's nothing God can give up. So that's what God can do. We can, in the place of prayer, you bet a lot of things. You bet the future that you want. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, but it's worth it.
Thank you so very much, Ma, for sharing this beautiful story. In fact, when I met her husband, it's a story that each time you listen to it, you get inspired. Each time you want to doubt, you just remember that just yesterday I was sharing my mom to listen to his story. And before I knew, just laid down, just kept listening to his story. So in my mind, I just feel like, wow, this is a simple man that has done so much for himself with the grace of God. It would be nice to know what his brother has also had to put in. Because for a man to be this focused and achieve this much in a short while, must have a strong woman beside him. And that's what I've seen it to be. Humble, strong inside, and it's flowing outside. Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing this beautiful story. For having inspiring it to the young ones, to our mothers who might be going through tough times in their marriages and how they can, help themselves because it doesn't affect the children. And also
there's a good thing. Sorry to cut you in about my mom.
Yes,
my mom doesn't say wrong things about my dad to us growing up. We knew what she was going through, but then she was old enough. It wasn't like, some people will even tell their children to go and curse the father, to go and do this. She wasn't that kind of woman. And they are now 50 years in marriage, they're still together.
Wow. Wow. What an inspiring story on all aspects. From her low self-esteem, her family battles, her educational battles. My goodness. I can say that educationally, I've picked something. Self-esteem, I've picked something. Family-wise, I've learned something as well. So guys, let's try to sit back and listen to this story as often as you can. Play it to your children, play with your friends, play with your husbands and even the teachers. You all can learn something from it. One thing that stood out for me in the story, when her mom told her that it's not in the voice, it's in God. That means, what are you doing right now? What are you seeing right now in what you're doing? Are you seeing just the money? Are you seeing the physics? Are you seeing the glamour? Or are you seeing God in it? Because that is the only person that can guarantee you success in whatever you do. And also give you the success out of any storms you come through. Thank you once again for listening on this episode. I'll be glad to have you come again in another episode and hear more inspiring stories to change our lives for good. Bye.